foul. That was absolutely ridiculous.
The Boston Bruins have won the Stanley Cup.
Up on down. Here comes a 1-2 pitch. Red Sox win the World Series.
I don't know. It's tough. Tom's up there, man.
BEANTOWN.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 30 of the BEANTOWN Takes podcast. Damn, episode 30. It's a lot of episodes. That's a lot of episodes. It's your boy Jesse Almeida here, back on YouTube and back on BEANTOWN Takes. Here with Mike.
What's going on, guys?
It's been a minute. How's things going? How's life treating you?
It's going. You?
It's been great. I'm on cloud 18. No. What did somebody say to me? I'm on cloud 9 times 2. What does that equal?
18.
18, yes, sir. Read the hat. Read the shirt. I don't have my We Want Boston merch right now. It's in the washing machine. But I got to show you it later on today. It looks great.
Hell yeah.
We got to get you one also. So, we're going to be talking about all 4 teams today. Haven't done this in a minute. Where do you want to start off? You want to start off with the C's? Do you want to start off with the Bum Sox, get them out the way?
Yeah, let's start with them. I think they were just getting ready to become relevant and be worthy of discussion, and now maybe, but not for the right reasons.
Yeah, right. Oh, that's so true. Yeah, we haven't even discussed that situation yet.
Yeah.
Damn, that's right. So yeah, let's talk about the Red Sox and let's talk about some shit's going on right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, the battery for Boston.
You know what's funny? The fact that you said that they're just getting relevant right now. I mean, they've won the last 2 against Baltimore, so it's not like that they've been playing terribly.
No, they somehow it's good to great teams, that top 5, top 6 teams in the league. They play like a top 5, top 6 team.
They're
in the
7
league.
games over 500, man.
And then when they play bottom teams, they're like, oh, it's the Rockies, and then it gets swept.
Or it's Houston, and it's just like, okay, even though they're not as good as they used to be anymore, like, we'll get swept from them. Like, no big deal. That's fine. It's all cool. Like,
yeah, I don't know. But like I said, they were just becoming relevant. They looked like, within 1 or 2 games of the wild card at one point.
Yeah.
And they looked like they were going to be threatening to take over a wild card spot. And then, then the bottom kind of fell out on that dream, huh?
Yeah, I mean, Royals right now are the ones who have that final wild card spot. I said at the beginning of the year, watch out for Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
They made some great moves in the offseason. They spent more money than the Red Sox did last offseason. And I was like, how is that possible? I was like, if I'm analyzing a team right now, I'm putting the Royals over the Red Sox. And right now, that thing's looking pretty good.
Yep.
Devers hit his 200th career homer, I think, last night or the night before. I forget off the top of my head. Again, I've been watching more San Diego Padres because we've been absolutely killing the game right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Devers had his 200th the other night or last night, whatever it was. Congrats to Devers. Too bad you're wasting your career on this team, but it's like, at least you got the bag, I guess.
Yeah, I guess that, but, it's not looking too... So right now you're 2.5 behind Kansas City at the time that we're recording this. I don't think you're going to catch them.
No.
And I know there's plenty of time to catch them and, whatever, the fucking...
the Red Sox fans are going to give them the Glock 3000 like they do every year.
The Red Sox Glazers. But honestly, I think there's a better chance that Seattle somehow takes over a wild card spot, and they're 5.5 out from the Royals.
Yeah, and because they made some great moves at the trade deadline. Randy Arozarena, I forget off the top of my head. I think they got some pitching also.
They got Justin Turner as a DH bat.
Turner, yep, that's right.
So they to me seem a little bit more poised. All I can say is thank you for beating the Orioles at this time. I needed them.
You're welcome.
I said, please.
You're welcome.
I said I'd love for them to take 2 or 3 against Baltimore. And everyone at my work, you think they're going to take 2 or 3 against Baltimore? I'm like, no, but I would hope so.
Yeah, right.
It's working out.
For you guys helping, for your Yankees and all that, yeah, it definitely helps out the case with you.
Yeah, we're now the number one team in the AL
East. Which,
in the AL.
we
overtook the Guardians.
Yeah. Damn, that's crazy.
We're actually only a half game back for best in the league, but
We ain't gonna talk about that
No.
because Red Sox fans are gonna be like, "Why are we talking Yankees on here?" Because the Yankees are an actual baseball team.
Are we gonna talk about with the talk about the Red Sox and recent hit stories? Are we gonna talk about
Yeah.
Duran?
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that.
And I feel bad. Like I texted you after the All-Star game. When he won the MVP, I was like, you know what? He's making a comeback with his career.
He was starting to become like my favorite.
Yeah,
on this team, and I was like, oh, okay, well, he's worth like getting like maybe a jersey or whatever. I was even contemplating on it, even though like I hate the new jerseys that they have right now. If they go back to the old ones, maybe I'll consider getting something. But I
kind of like the Lizard Run.
Yeah, right.
But, he was looking at like he was actually like turning his career around. Seemed to be like a locker, like somebody that you don't necessarily don't build around, but somebody that can be there long term.
Yeah.
He looks to be like a 30-30 guy, 30 doubles, 30 steals.
Yep.
But then I don't know. The day after they honor Billy Bean for being an openly,
yeah,
a baseball player that came out as gay, that was also then trying to do inclusion.
Yeah.
For the MLB. It's not a very good look when you use
it isn't.
Homophobic slur like that.
No, and it's like my whole thing is like, it's 2024. We're still using this word.
Yeah.
Like, that was something like maybe 15 years ago.
It's also more the fact you're 27 years old.
Yeah.
And you're playing in a stadium where there's a microphone every 5 feet. What did you think was gonna happen?
Right. Like, I get it. Like, the fan can get annoying. Like, I get it. But we can hear the fan in the background. You need a tennis racket. That's what caused you to say that. I mean, I hate to compare his reaction to, like, Kyrie Irving's reactions with Boston Celtics fans when he was at the Garden in years past or whatever, but, like, no control of anger whatsoever.
None.
And it's you know what's funny, too? It's funny because, like, I don't know if you've been watching the channel and everything else, but, like, I went to a game in July. And obviously, we know Bree, one of her favorite players is Jared Duran. And one of the games that I went to stop at work to say hi, and I gave her a signed Jared Duran ball. My buddy Ben texted me saying, yeah, the value of that ball just dropped.
If there wasn't any value to begin with. But, yeah.
That was hard to find his signature, just a side note, which very crazy you would think about. But, yeah, not a good look for Duran. I think the 2-game suspension was warranted for what he said. Part of me thought that he was going to get cut from the team because there is a history of people, like, saying stuff like this and, like, showing, like, hatred towards, like, the LGBTQ community, whatever, like, saying, like, oh, they're homophobic or whatever, and, like, they just get immediately cut from the team, and, like, they don't get a job after that. So I knew it was unlikely, but in the back of my head, I was like, damn, this is probably, like, a move where, like, a team could look at it and be like, yeah, we don't want this guy on our team.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I think it's tough to say, what the right action would have done. I think the suspension should have been 5, and I think the pay that they took, the Red Sox should have matched, and it should have gone to a foundation that Billy Bean was. I'm not, from what I've sounded and when I talked. It's funny, as I was talking to one of my captains at work.
Yep.
Who happens to be a very big Red Sox fan, who's also a lesbian.
Yep.
She really liked Duran. And then this happened, and now she hates. She's not a fan of Duran.
Damn.
I'll say, and she isn't a fan of the organization that the Red Sox donated to.
Yeah. Oh, what did they donate it to?
They donated to some organization that she that being in the community. She said that she wasn't a fan of. She wishes that they went to somewhere a little bit better of a community of a foundation.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure what it was or what the reason why.
Yep.
She just said that there's better ones that they could have done, especially if they were honoring Billy Bean. It probably would have gone better.
That one makes
to go
no
to
sense.
a Billy Bean founded organization.
Yeah.
So that's where I think the Red Sox handled it decently.
Yeah.
Maybe it could have been a little bit better.
Yeah.
But it's just interesting to see.
How how he learns from this mistake and everything else. Cause, like,
yeah, I think you might see him in the trade in the offseason. Like, needed a change.
Yeah,
of
that's what
scenery.
Maz was saying. I think that's what Maz was saying, and I was like, you think they're gonna trade him? I was like, I mean, I get it and everything else, but like, I don't know. I feel like in terms of the team right now, like maybe he does stick around because like they need talent or whatever, and like he is like a top 50 player in the league, 100,
maybe 100,
maybe 100, and I mean, this is like realistically like the one bad thing like outside of the field that he's done like wrong. Maybe he gets a second chance. I don't know. But I think for sure, though, if he does something like this again, though, I would say, like, yeah, done. Get him out of here, whatever. And, like, I've been seeing, like, the media, too, react to this. A lot of them are rightfully axed with, like, their stories or whatever. But I saw one story where you might have seen it. It might have floated over Twitter or whatever, but there was this reporter that reported that Mayor Wu wanted to meet with the Red Sox in regards to Jaron Duran's incident or whatever, right? Like, after the punishment was announced and after, like, the donation that they were going to donate to or whatever it was. I didn't read it or whatever, but, like, and the next day it came out from Mayor Wu's office that the report was an absolute lie. It was fabricated.
Yeah, I don't really think the mayor really cares about, the Red Sox or sports enough.
Right.
I think she has enough on her plate to deal with.
The point of the matter is just like, really? You're going to fake a report that the mayor wants to meet with the team because of this incident? It's like, are you grasping views and like clicks that bad? It's like...
Yeah. Yeah, it's bad.
And like, I again, you've heard me right now. I don't condone what Duran said or anything like that. It's pretty damning for, as somebody who went to college to be a reporter or whatever, where I had to learn like the ins and outs of like reporting, social media, and everything else like that. One of the things that I learned is that like you need to get your sources right, and if you don't have something right, it's your job to go back and report as to why the initial report was false. No, she just deleted the tweet and pretended like it didn't happen.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Like, that's, to me, like, that's just as bad, because, like, he's already down bad enough in the situation. You're going to sit here and just completely lie on his name. That's where I have the issue with what the reporter's doing. And to not even address it, that's a whole nother thing, too. Like, how does she has a job still with Boston Herald? I don't even know.
She works for the Herald.
Yeah.
She works for the Herald. That should say all you need to say.
Yeah.
She works for the Herald.
Yeah.
All right.
I just want, so I'm going to talk about this last thing, right? And we'll move on. You know what's crazy about this whole entire situation?
What?
How his jersey sales has skyrocketed over the last week.
Welcome to Boston, baby. He's a national hero in New England. Come on. That's more of a political take than anything, what's going on. But
yeah.
Like, New England is very, 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 I could see that. I
have my
I'm not
reasons as to
surprised.
why.
I'm not surprised.
I have my reasons as to like why it's happening and everything else. Some people maybe are just done with like the woke community, the cancel culture, which I get that side of it too. But it's like we gotta have a fair balance of it both ways or whatever. Let's move on to the trade deadline. They didn't clearly get enough. Their best move was Danny Jansen. And you know what? I'm glad that they didn't sell at the deadline. That's good alone, because I thought for sure, like, you sell off, like, Kenley Jansen, Tyler O'Neill, Nick Pivetta, because with this ownership in the past years, you're not going to re-sign them because they don't want to dish out the money. What was your need for the Red Sox at the deadline, and did they meet the needs? Because they did buy a little bit. They bought Lucas Sims, reliever from the Reds, Luis Garcia from the Angels, a relief pitcher. They got Danny Jansen from the Blue Jays, and they got James Paxton, who only pitched, I think, 10 innings? You went to one of the games.
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
I did. I forgot I went to a Red Sox game. It was so unmemorable.
Yeah, because it was against who?
Seattle.
Yeah, you just missed the Yankees series. I texted you saying you're at the wrong series.
Yeah. I think what the Red Sox really needed is a whole new roster and front office. I think they just
we
need a
can both
whole
agree with that.
whole new organization. But yeah, they just need a whole lot of everything. Like they needed pitching, they need bats, they need bullpen relief.
Yeah.
Like right now, like Houck is doing great.
He's been phenomenal.
And then that's about it for pitching. Really, that's memorable.
And the rest are nobodies.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just kidding. I know who Ty Crawford is.
well, yeah, but like having Bayo as a number 2 on the staff is
he took a regression bad.
That's not the best thing to do for somebody in their second year. You can't count on them to be at number 2. I wish he would have just sold and just committed because now you're still in purgatory.
I don't know what's going on my camera, but keep going.
Okay. They're just in purgatory right now. Like, you had pieces you could have sold off and got something back. You could have sold off Jansen and got something back. You could have sold off Tyler O'Neill and got something back. You honestly probably could have sold Duran and got something back. Like, it's just one of those where what are you doing? You need future help more than right now help because you're nowhere close to competing. You're not even close to getting into the playoffs. So, like, it doesn't make sense.
You're saying you would have rather had them sold as opposed to what they did.
Fire sale.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I'd rather you be the Blue Jays than what the fuck you did.
Yeah, so let's say, for example, they went out and they got, like, Jack Flaherty or somebody that was big in the trade market.
Not enough.
Yeah.
Not enough.
Well, I know it probably wouldn't have been enough this season, but, like, going forward in the future, like, maybe, like, if they bought something big, they could have bought this fan base back and saying, like, hey, we care about this team. We want to win. We're in full throttle, like they said last season, as opposed to, like, these little moves. I don't know. I mean, I feel like at the deadline, if they sold, they're telling the fan base, like, yeah, we don't care about this season, really. Like,
yeah, but they already don't care about this season.
Right.
Might as well just say scrap it, go on to the next season.
Yeah.
Like, don't waste buying pieces that aren't gonna, like, oh, they're gonna help us this year. Do what? And fucking 81 and 81? Like, what's the big whoop? What's the big whoop?
They've been under 500 since what, the All-Star break?
Who cares?
Right.
Like, let's go. Just sell them. Sell them. Build it new. I don't care anymore. Build it new.
Wick, I know you're selling the Celtics, but you want to buy the Red Sox maybe?
Oh my god. Just sell them. It doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
They suck.
It's over.
Now you're just stuck in purgatory instead of just getting yourself pieces.
Yeah, the offseason, that's where they really messed up.
It doesn't. They got great. It's the same thing they did last year. You should have sold last year. You could have sold Jansen. You could have sold Duval, and instead you let Duval walk for nothing, and Jansen's about to walk for nothing.
Yeah. Because they're not going to pay him. They don't pay anybody nowadays.
Nope.
And
so.
That's enough. Wow, 16 minutes. They've gotten more of my time than I normally give them. That's. Should we get the Patriots out the way? Because they're the other team where it's like,
sure.
All right, yeah, because that one might be quick. We don't have much to talk about with the Patriots because, situation's over with them and they kind of screwed up again. Let's just put it that way.
Hey, go. Watch. Are you ready for some football?
I love the Patriots.
All right. One of these days, I'm going to throw this computer out the window here because I hit record, you literally saw it, and then it just stops recording.
I didn't see nothing.
I don't know. I don't know what's happening with this thing, but yeah.
I didn't see nothing.
Good news is, for you Patriot fans, the Patriots are back. Yay. But the bad news, though, they're still not good.
They bought booty cheeks.
They are garbage. And they're even more garbage because they got rid of Matthew Judon, who realistically was like the anchor of the defense, even though like maybe he's had some injuries and everything else. I don't know. What do you really couldn't like afford to lose him right now. You don't have much. on the defensive end, especially with Christian Barmore now out also with his situations. You don't know when he's going to return. I just feel like you could have sweetened up the deal with Matthew Judon, and, like, you didn't do that. Maybe even sign him to not the money that he's asking for, but, like, something where, like, it's good on both sides. I don't know. I just don't like the situation with the Patriots right now. Trading Judon definitely wasn't the answer. You couldn't afford that. And I had them originally. Their best case scenario was 6-11. I had my full-on prediction at 4-13. Now, they might be lucky to get 3 wins. I think
we just went through. Jesse went his original prediction of 6-11
that
to
wasn't
4-13.
Mind you,
That was your best case scenario.
Yep.
Down to 4-13. Mine is 1-16. 1-16.
Which is the worst we've ever had on this channel, by the way.
Yep, but I don't have any faith in this team. They're not good. They're gonna get Jacoby Brissett killed to the point where you'll probably see Bailey Zappi, and you'll probably see Joe Milton.
You think Zappi's
And
still
then-
here?
And then because they're gonna have somebody. He'll be practice squad probably. Because they're going to need somebody to come in, because I don't think Drake May sees a single snap on the field this season, even if Brissett goes down. I think they're going to try and protect May, and they can't do that with this offensive line.
True.
So their best case scenario to do that is to bench him the whole year and play every other possible quarterback that they can think of.
I would agree with that.
So
I would agree with that take. I mean, you just don't want to throw Drake May into the fire. You did that with Mac Jones, and look how that worked out for you. Not too good for the Patriots there. And now Mac Jones is gone. Actually, he looked pretty decent in his one preseason game that he played, and I was like, damn, maybe the Patriots were just the issue. I don't know. But Brissett, yeah, not really a believer in Brissett either. I went to the training camp on my birthday. Drake May looked okay. He looked good. He had some stints, but yeah, I mean, you're not going to really do much with the offensive line that you have right now. He had a great preseason game, Drake May. Best case scenario right now for the Patriots is you play Jacoby Brissett. Get him killed. I don't mean that in an offensive way whatsoever, but that is like the scenario that you should be looking at. Get him killed with this offensive line and revisit next season. Get an offensive line. Do what you need to do. You're going to have cap because you just traded Judon, so like you're going to have some cap flexibility to build around Drake May, and that's where I would go with it.
Tank.
Yeah.
Tank
this season,
Don't-
revisit next year.
Don't win a single game and go draft Travis Hunter.
You draft a wide receiver round 1?
I would draft Travis Hunter because I think he's the best college prospect that's non-quarterback ever.
Even though they need lineman help.
You need a playmaker. He's a playmaker.
Yeah.
I'm
not gonna disagree with your take saying they need a wide receiver either.
You need a playmaker. You need somebody that's gonna come in here and kick ass and go be a threat.
I promise
you ain't got nothing.
I promise you guys, I'll watch more college football this year because I need to, because they're gonna have a top 5 pick in the draft this year too.
I would go because you can find. They've been able to find good linemen in the back half of the drafts. Whenever they draft a lineman early, they suck. Cole Strange.
Yeah.
Isaiah Wynn. David Andrews has probably been one of the best centers in Patriots history. Undrafted free agent.
Yeah.
Shaq Mason, I'm pretty sure was a 6th round or 7th round. He was a pretty good guard. Joe Tooney was also like a 6th or 7th rounder. Marcus Cannon, I think another undrafted free. They find linemen and all this back half of the draft on flyers. They do,
which is
really
crazy.
Great.
You would think like in the beginning of the draft, that's where they would find like those type of players.
The Browns there, they got that Thanos kid, that Duran Jones, who's like 6'7", 350.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure they got him. Hold on, I want to make sure I got this right. I'm pretty sure he was a 4th round. Yeah, 4th round. 6'8", 374. This dude played almost his whole rookie year and only let up 1 sack.
All right, I can already tell you right now. You already know how I know he's gonna be a great player, or whatever. He's gonna be one of the best linemen in the league. Look at the birth date.
Oh my god. Do you know what they call him Little Thanos?
Do they actually?
That's his nickname is Thanos.
That's awesome.
Because he's so fucking massive.
That's awesome.
All right, he doesn't let up sacks, and he was a 4th rounder. You can find people in the draft.
That's going to be the biggest need next offseason is going to be the linemen. And linemen, wide receiver, even though they did draft a couple wide receivers this past draft. Who's the kid that's looked great right now? Not Jalen Polk. Polk's looked okay so far.
Polk, Javon Baker, they both look pretty good.
Osborne.
Because they got Polk, they got Baker.
Baker, yep.
Pop Douglas is still there,
Juju's gone.
Where's Booty? Oh, there he is. Keyshawn Booty's so far down this depth chart. I don't know why.
That's
he
crazy,
actually is
yeah.
fucking usable.
Yeah, right.
But I don't know who the fuck the City So is. What the who?
Who the fuck is that guy?
Who the hell? I mean, hey, man, they got Michael Jordan at left guard. I mean, shit.
Oh my god, they got the GOAT.
The GOAT.
Oh yeah. Over 500 this season. They have Michael Jordan. Book it. I'm just kidding, obviously, but.
No, buy the under. Buy the under in every sports book you can find. They suck. They're gonna suck.
Yeah. You have them 1-16. I'm gonna go to your Browns for a second. What do you have the Browns at?
I have the Browns at 12-5.
Okay.
I think the Browns are gonna kick ass against Dallas, and I'm pretty sure they're actually favored against Dallas right now by 2 points.
Well, they're home too. Yeah.
They're a home opener, and I'm pretty sure that's Tom Brady's first game. As an announcer.
Oh, that's gonna be much watch.
I believe because it's the 4:25 and it's Dallas, and Dallas usually gets the number 1 for Fox because Jerry Jones and Fox are like with each other. But I think they beat Dallas. I think they beat Jacksonville. The Giants, Vegas, Washington. Very after Dallas and Jacksonville, who they beat before. It's a pretty soft opening. First 5 games. Their first test is going to be Philly, and I kind of like them against Philly because they have enough DBs that are really good to cover Brown and Devontae. Cincy, they always beat Cincy. Baltimore is Philly, Baltimore, and I'd say maybe Dallas are probably their only real test before the bye week.
Yeah.
New Orleans should be pretty easy. Pittsburgh's going to be a cakewalk. Denver should be easy. Pittsburgh should be easy. They play Kansas City. So, that's going to be I'll book that as a loss. They'll beat Bengals again. Miami will be interesting to see, but I can see them beating them because they're playing in Cleveland in December.
Yeah.
To me, that's a win. And at Baltimore to end the season, it could be interesting depending on what Baltimore does.
Yeah.
If Baltimore's going for that 1 seed, or they're trying to rest, or if Cleveland's trying to rest. I never like predicting the last game for them, especially when it's Baltimore, because both teams are usually dogfighting it out.
Yep.
But other than that, realistically, I'd say 1. I'd say 2 here at Baltimore. 3. I'd say there's probably 4 losses somewhere mixed in here.
Yep.
That I can count on.
Yep.
And that's God forbid, God willing, everybody stays healthy.
Yeah. Right. Yep.
If everybody stays healthy this year, I'd put them at 4 losses, 4 or 5 losses. So that's why I'm going 12-4.
And they had a good offseason too, didn't they?
Yeah. They cleaned some things up. I mean, they got Jerry Jeudy.
Yep.
They almost got Brandon Ayuk.
Yep.
I'm trying to think what else. I mean, they signed everybody back.
Which
They signed everybody back, and Deshaun came back healthy. I mean, they got Winston and Tyler Huntley. Both of them are pretty good quarterbacks to have just in case if Watson can't go.
Yep.
Their running backs are pretty good. They have Chubb, and then they have Ford, who killed it last year. Pierre Strong from the Pats, who was pretty good for them as a third option, and then Deontay Foreman from the Bears a couple years ago.
Yep.
Their O-line is back, and they're all pretty solid. Their defense is solid, too. So
okay, my point proven. They had a better offseason than the Patriots did, and the Patriots had more salary cap flexibility than them.
Yeah, I think the Browns went into the offseason.
That's why I asked you about it.
They went in the salary cap with, I think $30 million in room.
Yep.
Or so.
Patriots had like 90 something or 89 something like that million.
And I mean the Browns have I think they've locked up all their young players for the next at least 3 or 4 years.
And the Patriots have lost more talent than they did game, which you would think 89, 90 million in cap space. They got to be bringing people in, right? They just finished 4-13. They got Drake May coming in. You would think that we're gonna get him some wide receiving help. We're going to get him some offensive linemen. Nah, they're going to run with rookies at wide receiver. They're going to run with another bad offensive line this year, and then they're going to run with Jacoby Brissett because they didn't have that good of an offseason. That's where they stand right now.
Mm-hmm.
And going to be a grueling year for them again. And should we talk Celtics or Bruins? We got 2 teams left.
Let's go Celtics. This should be pretty.
Hell yeah!
It should be honestly fairly fast for the.
Hell
for
yeah!
The Celtics.
We haven't even talked since they won the championship. We haven't even talked about the Celtics since they won the championship.
Yeah,
so
but that's about it. Oh yeah, we won! Woo!
You probably. Why is that's very weird. So we're gonna talk about the Celtics and what they have done this offseason. We're gonna also talk championship. We haven't talked championship on this channel yet with you and I. You probably have some questions on my run also with the parade and everything else. And hopes are high for this team right now.
Well, I've been a fan of Boston Celtics for, my whole life pretty much.
My first Celtics game was back when I was like 7 years old.
The Boston Celtics became legendary.
So, the Boston Celtics, again, gonna keep reminding the haters out there because they've been a lot of them on this channel here. The Boston Celtics are your 2024 NBA champions. Banner 18. I don't have my We Want Boston shirt right now, unfortunately. It's in the washing machine, but I do have it in my possession. And, man, that run has been an absolute blur this last season. Met a lot of you guys on the channel, so thank you guys for whoever I met, for the love and support throughout the entire season and everything else. He didn't, unfortunately, meet anybody because he dipped out after Game 5. He didn't want to get stuck in that celebration, the chaos and everything else from when we went to see Miami. Yeah. You did see one with me, at least. So
I did.
You got to enjoy one game with me during this run, and
I did.
You saw how chaotic it was.
Very.
So imagine doing that 9 times out of the 11 postseason games.
Couldn't do it.
My head was exhausted throughout the entire run. Yeah, we haven't talked since we've talked, obviously, but we haven't really spoke about the run and everything else since they've won the championship. So you got any questions for me, what I would change or anything like that from the run, or how it was?
That'd be crazy.
Yeah,
that'd have been crazy, especially those the actual NBA Finals.
Yeah,
and that's got to be crazy.
Oh, it absolutely was.
Jesus,
we did 3 finals games on this channel, dude. I remember when I was struggling to do 1 2 years ago. And I was just coming off surgery, doing everything like that. I was like, is this possible? Or it was possible to the brim. That's all I'll say from 2 years ago. I never would have thought, though, 2 years ago, when we went to that finals game, I would have never imagined, our channel growing the way it did in 2 years. And, meeting the people that I have, Bree, even GRD, who you're a big fan of also. Babs, you're not a big fan of Babs, really, because he's a Patriot guy and all that, but I got to know him off camera and everything like that. He's a cool dude. I love Babs, everything else, but the takes. Even I told him sometimes the Patriots takes, man. Get the optimism and everything else. Whew. You're bold, I'll tell you that. You worked the parade? I could only imagine what that was like. Yeah, the face just says it all. Even though it's frozen on my screen right now, I don't know why it's freezing like that, but... You drunk people. I wasn't one of them. Well, I was, but I kept my composure, though.
1 beer, 1 water.
Or one
Please.
Crown and Coke and one water.
One alcoholic, one water.
Yeah, that's
all I ask. That's all I ask. And then don't be an asshole.
Right.
That's all I ask.
Yeah.
But,
nah, that was too much to ask for you. If there was something, though, that I would change throughout that entire run, I would change Game 5. Like, when they clinched it all and everything else. Like, again, sure, my view was great. Like, was up in the banners. Like, they just won banner 18. Like, it was perfect for at the time. But I would have been, I don't know if you guys can see my cursor or not. I don't think you can, but, like, I'd be down in the loge. I definitely screwed that one up. I was trying to be reasonable, Jesse, and think, oh, if they lose, you can't go to a Game 7 if you sit down in the loge. So you should just go up to the balcony. Originally, when I bought the ticket, it said, like, section 302, and it gave me a seat number, right? So I thought, okay, cool. Last row, balcony, like those little bar stool seats they added in or whatever. I thought, okay, cool, that's where it's going to be? Yeah. You can definitely work that for a game. Nah, it turned out to be a standing room only ticket. Screw StubHub, by the way. Because when you buy standing room tickets for, like, the Sox, which we've done before.
SRO.
It says SRO, but it doesn't give you a seat number, though.
Nope.
So it's just, right off the bat, you think, okay, this is standing room only. And, yeah, it turned out to be a standing room only ticket. That would be, like, really the only thing that I would change from this run. Is I'd be sitting in the loge box for this game here. But other than that, I don't think I would really change anything, really. Got front row in the parade and everything else, and, like, it was all a blur. And I just want to give a huge thank you already to Steve Kerr for lighting a fire on Jason Tatum for benching him the 2 games. These guys are going to be out for vengeance next year also, which is crazy to say, because you would think after winning a championship, they think, oh, what are they going to say now? Or there's nothing left to prove or whatever. But now they have even more to prove.
Yep, Tatum's going to play for MVP. Brown's going to play for first team All-NBA. And probably like an MVP runner-up almost type deal. You know, they're gonna try and battle each other to try and win that award. I see like White and Holiday will go for, you know, Defensive Player of the Year and try to win, you know, try to get first team on that. So yeah, they're definitely hungry. I mean, that's a good thing about having this team that's so young and locked up right now is that you can build off each other. Like, besides Al Horford, because obviously Unk is still there. But after that, it's like, what, Drew Holiday's 34, 32, 33?
I think 34.
And then, okay, 34, and then after that, everybody's under 30.
Yeah, right.
Like, your team is pretty much set.
You don't need to do anything.
No.
you didn't need to...
Like, this team is locked up for... Your core is locked up for the next 4 years.
You didn't have to do anything on the offseason, which is crazy to say. All you needed to do, lock everybody up.
Lock them all up, run it back, and make sure they're healthy.
Yeah,
That's it.
Which they did most of this run without KP. So, like, imagine if they just had KP the entire run.
Yeah, exactly. If you can keep everybody healthy, you're good. You're going to win.
First round would have been a sweep. Second round would have been a sweep. Third round was a sweep. Finals would have been a sweep.
Yep.
You would have swept the building. This is like Golden State Warriors 2017, 2018 vibes. Mm-hmm. So this is what it feels like to have a super team. Man!
Yeah. Whew. And it's built the right way. Like, most of your talent is homegrown. Or it's like Al Horford. I consider Al Horford at this point homegrown because he came in, what, 2016?
Yeah.
And he left, like, for, what, 2 years? We went to the Philly and then OKC.
Well, not even. It was like 1.5 seasons because, like...
But, like, to me, like, I feel like Al Horford is a Celtic through and through as much as he was more of a... Like, he obviously spent more time with the Hawks in his career.
Yeah.
But to me, like, he's a Celtic. And other than that, like, you traded away Marcus Smart, Gallinari, and Mike Muscala, and you got Tingus Pingus the 2 first.
Yeah, right.
How does that? Okay, tell me how that works. And then everybody else, like obviously, like you traded for Holiday and you traded for White.
Oh my God, the White trade, wow.
But like, you know, it's not like you like went out and like, you know, bought Kevin Durant.
Right.
You didn't bring in Chris Bosh or LeBron James.
Right.
Like, you didn't bring in LeBron James and then Anthony Davis.
Right.
You built it, for most of the part...
From the bottom up.
From the bottom up. You built a core, and then you found the pieces that need to go around the core to make everybody else better.
partially thank you to the Brooklyn Nets for that.
Yeah.
Because without that trade, because again, I reacted to a video that says this one trade changed everything for the Boston Celtics, and like it's so true, because nobody thought that Brooklyn was gonna be that bad those years. Even myself, when I was, I think 13 at the time or 14 when they did the trade, I was pissed. I was pissed at the trade because again, Pierce, Garnett, two guys that like. Obviously, KG's not homegrown, but like you said with Al Horford, was there long enough to be homegrown. And you trade him away. Paul Pierce, we grew up loving, and now fans were done at that point. They were like, when is this team ever going to come back? It was unknown, but it came back very quickly, very, very quickly. That was thank you to the Nets. That was thank you to even Isaiah Thomas. When he came in after that trade, he just embraced that Celtics culture, and it went from rebuilding, unknown, to competing and rebuilding, which is unheard of nowadays.
Mm-hmm. And also thank you to the 76ers and the Lakers for being dumbasses and falling for the media trap and taking the media pick over the right pick.
Yeah.
Because, realistically, there's a chance that the 76ers could have ended up with Brown and Tatum and Embiid.
Yeah.
So, thank God that they're dumb and took Ben Simmons and Markelle Fultz, and the Lakers took Brandon Ingram and Lonzo Ball. Like, thank you for falling for the bait.
I remember when we were on this podcast and we were talking Marcus Smart trades, and you were saying like, "Oh, I would trade Marcus Smart for Ben Simmons."
I traded Marcus Smart for a bag of chips at one point.
You did?
I traded him for not even like a big bag, not even like a family size, like a single individual bag of Doritos.
Right. Yeah.
Uh-huh. I would have traded him for that.
We were really crap talking Marcus Smart.
Well,
rightfully so at the time.
Because you needed role players to complement Brown and Tatum.
We eased back on that when it looked like he was finally starting to buy his role in 2022.
Yeah, and then...
But even there, we were still saying you should trade him if you get the right package, and I think it's safe to say
you got the right package,
and even more so than the right package. So that worked out well in your favor.
That's sick that GRD got the ride with Tingus.
Oh yeah, dude,
that's sick.
It was phenomenal, man. I'm so happy for GRD and everything else. Like he really deserves this too for everything he's done for the community and like. For Celtics Nation, just a humble and down-to-earth guy. I can't wait till the day you meet him because, like, he's exactly who he is on camera, so, like, that's genuine. I want to go back to Brown real quick, though, because a year ago, we were talking about how the 304 was maybe a slight overpay, but they had to do it. But is it crazy to say that the contract now for Jaylen Brown...
Worth it.
Worth it. Maybe even a slight underpay.
I think it's perfect amount. I think it's a perfect amount, and it's one of those where now that the dam's been broken, I think they're gonna win a lot more championships.
Yep.
I think they're gonna win a lot more, and they're gonna bring in more money than the contracts are getting paid.
Yep.
And I think it's perfect I think that contract was perfect for Brown.
Yep.
I think so, and I think Tatum's contract is gonna be just as good.
Yep.
Like, I don't think there's such thing as an overpay on these guys because how young they are. Now, if it was somebody who was like Curry's age getting a contract like that, that's where it's an overpay because you're only paying for now.
Yeah.
But these guys are just hitting their prime.
Yeah.
They're just starting into their like superstar era. Like they are going to kill it.
Right.
So that's where I'm fine with the contracts for them.
The White contract too. He could have waited a year and gotten way more than what he's gonna get right now. I think it's a 4-year contract, $129 million. For Derek White, for his contract extension, he's what everybody wanted Marcus Smart to be.
Mm-hmm.
Same with Drew Holiday also. I mean, those are the right pieces to build around your core. You need to keep them around for as long as you can. Again, that second apron's going to kill you, obviously, but Wyc's not going to have to pay that tax in the future.
No, I just hope that there's somebody who comes in with the investment that actually cares and invests in the team and wants a team that's going to win.
Well, here's my thing. If I know Wyc and I know, like, that owner staff over there as opposed to another owner staff that doesn't know what they're doing right now, Red Sox, but I think they're going to sell it to the right person who is exactly like them. I don't think it's going to be the highest bidder. I know that money talks and everything like that, but I think they just care about this team too much to just hand it over to somebody else.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I could see it being Bezos.
Yeah.
Just because I think he has so much liquid cash.
Yeah.
That he has, like, you know, it'd be good for him to get something in his portfolio, like a sports team. And I think he would be the right fit because he probably won't care. Like, once he wins a championship,
yep,
he's not going to care. He's going to be, wow, this is the greatest thing ever.
Yeah, right.
This is so cool.
Yeah, right.
And he's just going to, whatever we need to do to keep winning.
Yeah,
and
right.
He'll keep everybody and just buy everything he needs.
Yeah.
Like, I think Bezos, to me, is a great owner because of how much liquid cash he has. And, like, who cares if, like, it's not going to matter to him. It's going to be a drop in the bucket, these taxes and all that.
Right. He's got the money to spend, so, like, if you have the money to spend, and this is my philosophy, too, with the Red Sox right now, too, because, like, their attendance has been down the last couple of years. You know what brings in money? Winning.
Mm-hmm.
Winning brings in money. Yeah, you might have to dish out a lot of money, too, but you also get a lot of cash if you win, also, so it kind of equals out at the end.
Yep.
You probably don't, you still make millions of dollars, obviously, but, like, if you're winning, it's going to bring in the money and everything else, and, like, that's all that should matter in sports. As a fan, as an owner, like, a good example of that, really, is Steve Ballmer, even though he let go of Paul George right now, which we're going to talk about the offseason a little bit. We're just enjoying this right now, guys. We haven't had much to enjoy in Boston sports for the last couple seasons. These guys are the only thing we have positive to talk about. I mean, the Bruins have been okay, but, like, you can bank on them being, like, underwhelming you every single season and everything like that. But I'm just excited for the Celtics season coming up. And, like, I'm so happy for Al Horford, who finally got his ring. There's been a ton of great moments this season for the Celtics. And, like, Banner Night is going to be unreal. Banner Night's going to be insane. Now, obviously, new season. That means teams have made moves, everything like that. Is there anybody that threatens you in the East now over the moves that they've made?
No, nobody threatens you.
Okay,
nobody threatens you. No, no one's gonna sniff you. No, I don't trust anybody. Like, the Knicks are gonna be interesting, but they're not big. They're not big.
They lost Hartenstein.
They got yeah, Mikal Bridges is great, but what are you gonna do? You can roll Brunson, Hart, Dante DiVincenzo, and Mikal Bridges. Like, I think Derek White and Drew Holiday are bigger than, like, your lineup is bigger than everybody that I just said. So the only big they're gonna have is Julius Randle, like
Mitchell Robinson.
But I'm saying, but you can't. But
still,
that's six people. You can't have them all on the court.
Right. Yeah.
So, like,
that lineup's gonna be interesting.
Like, it's just gonna be like, and your lineup, like the Celtics lineup of Tingus, Brown, Tatum, White, and Holiday are all fast and quick.
Yeah.
So it's not like the Knicks can just put out their small ball lineup and just run by you.
Right.
You're gonna be able to keep up with them.
Right.
So they don't scare me. The 76ers who just got Paul George.
Yeah.
Paul George sucks in the playoffs. Embiid sucks in the playoffs.
Playoff P though.
Tyrese Maxey is gonna be the only thing carrying them through the fucking playoffs.
Yeah, Embiid hasn't even sniffed past the second round. He was close.
And Tatum said no.
Tatum said 51 on your head. How about that?
The Heat, no.
They got worse.
And the Pacers haven't really done anything. So who left in the East? Nobody else has really done anything.
Cleveland didn't make any real moves either, I don't think.
Cleveland, no. Because Cleveland doesn't have money.
Milwaukee's... and it's crazy to say this about Milwaukee because, like, you just think Giannis Antetokounmpo and say, okay, they're a championship contender. I mean, Are they though? Really?
No, I don't know why he re-signed with them.
Yeah.
Because they're not gonna do anything.
Their team's old. There's no defense there.
Yep.
Their real only defense is Giannis and Brook Lopez.
Yeah.
That's really it.
Yep. And they just got older, and Dame sucks, and they're I wouldn't worry about anybody else. I'm surprised nobody went nobody besides I think Hauser went to Pritchard's wedding.
Hauser wasn't there?
No, I think Hauser was the only
Oh,
one
Hauser
that went.
No, I think Brown was there. Brown was there.
I didn't see Brown there.
I'll have to go back and check. I believe Brown was there. I know Tatum, obviously, rightful reasons. He was going for a gold medal. Dude. Okay. Going back to the run real quick. Everybody's on my head about this. The half-court shot, when I missed it on camera, everybody's on me about that. I mean, rightfully so. Not my fault, though. I promise you guys, my camera shut off right when I was going to record it. I don't think I've ever seen a dagger in the first half in my entire life until that moment. Like, that shot right there really killed Dallas. And I don't think we've talked about, like, the Kyrie hate and all of that. Like, obviously it played a factor in this playoffs for the Celtics. Because when he would come to the Garden, he would not play good. What's your take on the Kyrie beef? Is the Kyrie beef over?
Yeah, it has been. Yeah, he can't win. No, he can't win here. I don't know why we even talk about it anymore. No, there's no more beef. He can't beat the Celtics. Like, no.
The ultimate revenge was winning the championship against him. That's when it's like, okay, it's dead now. It's completely over.
It is.
Final question before we move on to the Bruins. It's very hard to repeat and everything else like that because obviously you've had a deep run. This is like the third season in a row where they've gone deep in the playoffs and everything like that. Maybe fatigue hits them this year. I don't know. I could see both arguments of the question I'm going to ask you here. Is the next upcoming season, and it's crazy that I'm even asking this question because they just came off a championship, is the next upcoming season for the Celtics the championship or bust season?
That's not a crazy thing to say. I mean, you should be able to win.
Yeah. I'm not saying you shouldn't be able to win. I'm just saying, like, is it a bust season if they don't?
Yeah, I consider it a losing season. I mean, I consider every season you don't win a championship a losing season.
Well, yeah, makes sense.
Especially with this team and their roster, and they just proved they can do it, and nobody has really gotten better to compete with you. Like, yes, there's no other team close enough in the NBA that comes close to the Boston Celtics right now. So if you don't win, it's a failure.
Okay.
Plain and simple.
All right.
Very easy. There's no, like it's tough to argue otherwise. Like you said, like with fatigue and they just came out, like, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it doesn't matter. You should be able to continue to win. Like, you just did it. Nothing's changed. Your team is the exact same that you just won, and there's no competition in the league.
Even in the West?
Who did anything to get better in the West?
I mean, Dallas got Klay Thompson. Who else did?
Who shot 0 for 10 in a playoff game? Okay, again, you're taking Klay Thompson and moving him into the 3, who is old and can't run anymore. His defensive covering against the Celtics is Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown would have shot 50, and he'll dunk all 50 points on his head. Like, he's undersized and can't run against Jaylen Brown. And he can't jump. Like, it's Klay. Like they're what? No.
They also do not have a top 5 player in the league right now in Jason Tatum. That debate's over until Luka wins a championship.
It's just one of those where I don't know, like, the only people that can compete with you is Minnesota and Denver.
Denver, yeah.
Like, that's it.
Those are the 2 teams I was just gonna say.
Like, again, Minnesota hasn't done anything to really get better. I mean, they got Dillingham to make a backcourt with Edwards, but he's not going to do anything that productive. And you can beat Minnesota.
Do you think OKC could be a threat? Maybe. I mean, they just got some experience in the playoffs. maybe they come around.
I still think they're a couple years off. They're still way too young. And, I mean, Caruso's a nice ad because he'll be a good defense.
Yep.
But I think they're still just too young.
Yeah.
I don't think they have any vet leadership, like, on that team.
Who was another team? I mean, in the East is Orlando, Cleveland, Miami. I mean, really the only one in the East that I can see, like, okay, maybe they could compete with them. New York.
Nope.
I would probably go as far as maybe even saying Orlando, but like that would be because they're young. They have like the veteran leadership. Also, they just got
no.
He's not giving it to anybody in the East.
Nothing.
I'm trying to be nice here. I'm just trying to look at like okay,
Nothing.
like who could be like
Nothing.
a good team in the East.
If you lose more than 2 games in the playoffs next year in the entire round, it's a fucking losing season. In my opinion.
Man, wow.
I don't care if you win it all. If you lose more than 2 games, it's a losing season.
The expectations grew, which
the expectations have been this since they got this team together last year. And I gave him a pass because Tingus Pingus got hurt.
Yeah.
So I give him the pass for losing 3 games.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't lose more than 3 games next year. If everybody stays healthy,
yep.
That's the expectation. If everybody's healthy, you shouldn't lose more than 3 playoff games next year.
Yep.
That's it. Plain and simple.
Banner 19 loading.
Mm-hmm.
It seems that way, and that means, my wallet's over here right now, and it's already giving me
looking
the
pretty
evil.
light.
It's already giving me the evil eye. Like
yeah, it's already the money's already going up into the air.
All right, last topic: Bruins. We're gonna talk the offseason, and it's a sad offseason for the both of us because one of our favorites is no longer.
Yeah, sad.
It really is.
What's up, Boston Bruins? Boston Bruins!
So the Bruins had an offseason too. Celtics aren't the only ones that we have to talk about who had an offseason. The Bruins had an offseason too. They made a couple good moves. Elias Lindholm and do you have the defenseman up? Because I need to see the name in order to pronounce it. Where is he?
Zadorov?
Yeah. Russian name. Obviously, we're going to butcher the name. But he is one of the better defensemen in the league. So, you add defense, you add a first-line center, which was their biggest need going into the offseason. But I feel like they lost something also this offseason. A lot of people are going to disagree with me, but I still feel like they should have kept Jake DeBrusk. I feel like that was a player that you really couldn't have let go this offseason. He had a great postseason. It's the same with Elias Lindholm. Elias Lindholm didn't have a great regular season, but he had a phenomenal postseason.
Yeah, I like DeBrusk. Obviously, we love DeBrusk here on this channel. But I think DeBrusk is one of your only true wingers that you had on the roster.
Right.
Like, letting him go was stupid. I think you could have found the money for him. And I think he should have stayed. Homegrown, great guy. You know, I don't know. I don't know if he just wanted to leave, but I would have matched that money.
Yeah.
I would have matched it and kept him.
Yep. There wasn't really much bright spots from the postseason this year. He was really one of your only bright spots.
Yeah.
I mean, you went 7 games against Toronto. Like, congratulations on that. You were also up 3-1 in that series, and you blew the lead. It shouldn't have even gone to a Game 7. And then you got your doors blown away from Florida, which, yeah, that's probably rightfully so because, like, Florida
won the Stanley Cup.
They won the Stanley Cup in their overpowered team.
You took the Stanley Cup winners to 6.
Yep.
You can be, like, that to me is for the first season post-Bergeron, like, that to me is a winning season.
Yeah.
That to me is a small W of a season.
Yep. Because I predicted them, I think,
we thought they'd be like a bottom 8, would sneak in, maybe win a series.
Yep.
They did better than we expected.
True. Yep.
And it just sucks that, you know, the second, third, and fourth best team in the conference had to play each other.
Right.
In the first 2. Like that to me is bananas.
Yep.
And that just has to go off the fact that the playoff seeding is broken.
Thank you. Yes, I hate that because they go by divisions in the first 2 rounds, right?
Yeah. It's divisions for the first 3, and then there's a wild card.
Yeah.
And the wild card can be from either division.
Yeah, which...
Stupid.
It really is dumb. Like, you would think
1
faces
through
8, 2 faces 7,
Yep,
3 faces 6, 4 faces 5.
Yep.
Like, that's how it should be. Like, if that was the case, what were they? They would have been, I think, the 3rd seed, I believe.
Yeah, they would have been the 3rd seed.
Which is a great season. Because we had them, I think, 6, 7, or 8. Somewhere in the middle of the pack. Not like the top 3. But that's a damn good season still.
So, let's see. Oh, no, they were 4th. So they
still middle of the pack.
They still would have played Toronto.
Yep.
And then
they would have faced the Rangers.
They would have faced the Rangers.
Which you still lose that either way.
But that to me would have been a more competitive series, I think, than Florida.
Yeah, because Florida's big.
And you might have be able to leak something out from them.
Yep.
And Carolina is a better matchup against Florida, and there's a chance they might have leaked out, and it's a whole different ball game.
Yeah. So, do you like how the offseason's been going so far for the Bruins?
I think this offseason addressed all their needs. They picked a goalie.
Even though he's not signed yet.
No,
but they picked one, though.
But they picked one, and the money will come. Swayman's the guy. They made it clear. They're not trying to do the platooning. They found the guy, and they're going with it, which is great. I love that.
Yep.
They got a big-body defenseman that's going to be physical to pair with Charlie McAvoy.
Yep.
Perfect. And they found a number 1 center.
Yep.
You hit your 3 things.
Yep.
Now, could you have gotten maybe a winger if you're gonna let DeBrusque go? Probably.
Yep.
Because now you don't have any wingers past Pastrnak. I think it's Pastrnak and Brazeau are your only right wingers, and then it's like JVR and.
JVR is back for next season?
Well, I don't know. This isn't really updated.
Oh, okay.
It might be updated.
I thought he was a free agent. That's why.
This might be updated, but he is a free agent.
Oh, maybe it is updated. Oh, it can't be, because I just saw Milan Lucic for left wings.
Well, he's trying to make a comeback.
Yeah, right, yeah. Good luck with that. I mean, if he's under contract, that's great.
I don't know.
I don't know either. I thought I saw him as a free agent still.
I don't know. Still says current here, but this is also ESPN, so they don't know shit.
ESPN sucks with their
website.
But
you know what I mean. So anyway, so your first line will be like Lindholm, Marchand, and Pastrnak probably.
Yeah, Pasternak's got to move up now.
Or they still might put him on the second line with Zacha, or something like that. Or maybe it's Lindholm and Pastrnak, and then somebody else on the right.
Yep.
And then the second line might be Marchand and Zacha. Just because that way you can split up your scoring. Because I'm not a big fan of putting all your 3 best scorers on one line, and then because especially when you don't have a lot of scoring depth. Like it was different when it was like when you had Bergeron, you had Marchand, you had Pasa, you had Krejci, you had Taylor Hall, you had DeBrusque, you had Coy. Like it's a different story when you have people like when you have scoring depth.
Yeah.
But when you really don't have that much scoring depth, I don't like putting them all in one line.
Right.
I like having 2 really good players playing off each other. That's just my take. And it'd be interesting to see what happens with Matty Patriots when he comes back. What Frederick will look like. Beecher and I like Brazeau. I think he had a pretty good postseason for being a rookie.
Yeah.
So this team is going to be interesting to see what happens with their lineup, what their lines are going to be. If I had to take a guess, it's probably going to be something like along the lines of Pasta, Lindholm, Marchand to see what it looks like.
Yeah.
Then it'll probably go Zacha. They don't really have a whole lot for offense.
Right.
But I mean, they have like Beecher will be a 4th liner, Coyle will be a 3rd liner, Coyle and Frederick will probably be 3rd line, Geeky will probably be 3rd line, or maybe he might go up to 4th line. Matty Patriots, they might bump him out from center into a wing spot because he's still kind of young and he can develop a wing.
Yep.
But either way, your back 6 is pretty good.
Yep.
Like it'll probably be McAvoy and Zadorov.
Yep.
Lindholm and Carlo, and then Lowry and Peaky was pretty good. Witherspoon was pretty good.
Yep.
Like you have some decent backup,
Your defense is fine.
Yeah, your defensive goalie is set. Maybe another winger or two would have been great. Like keeping DeBrusque would have been good.
Yeah.
But if you can find somebody that can play the wing, like JVR to be your third line winger, like you have a chance to figure it out.
I've highlighted a couple stats from Lindholm here where he has some flashes of offense, and one of them that sticks out to me, one season he had 42 goals, 40 assists, which equals out to 82 points.
Mm-hmm.
And he played all 82 games. I'm assuming like that season there is like why they gave him the contract. Maybe they're expecting him to be that kind of player again, because when he was with Calgary last season, he wasn't on the first line. I think he was on the second line. And even with Vancouver also, he wasn't on that first line. Lindholm had the offensive sparks that he had with Calgary. Maybe they can get that back with him being on the first line, being a first line center, because that's where he really flourished his talents.
He needs scorers next to him.
Yeah.
To set up.
Yep.
He didn't have that the past 2 years.
Yep.
So, give him the score in Pasternak and see what happens.
Yep. Then you bring the physical presence in on defense. Was it Dorov? Grzelcyk is gone. Thank God. That's been long overdue because, like, he wasn't really, like, a physical presence to the team. And, like, you just weren't getting enough from Grzelcyk.
Mm-hmm.
It was time to go for Grzelcyk. Heinen, you can replace him. There was another one. Oh, Forbort, you could replace him. No problem. Laurie actually kind of deserves a spot over him anyways. I think they're still going to be in the middle of the pack as to last season. I think they're still going to be in the middle of the pack. Maybe they can force 7 games in the second round. Kind of what they did this season would be like my expectations with them going forward.
Yeah. And honestly, for the most part, you're almost your everyday players. Like, if you bring JVR back, that's, like, one thing. But, like, Marchand is 36, JVR is 35, and then Lindholm is 30. And other than that, I think everybody else that's an everyday player is under 30. Oh, Charlie Coyle is 32. But, like, everybody else is pretty young. Like, you got a pretty good young team right now. I'm happy with it. I'm fine with it.
Do you think they got enough in the Olmark trade? They got their own first-round pick back in return. That was basically... I would have
liked it if they flipped that first-rounder for something. Traded the pick that I got back from Olmark, and I would have flipped that for a second-line winger.
Yeah.
For the first
If
rounder.
you weren't going to re-sign Jake DeBrusque.
Yes, exactly.
Yep.
If I'm not keeping DeBrusque, I'm getting another winger. I'm taking that first rounder for one.
What's your prediction this upcoming season for the Bruins? I mean,
I put them third in the division.
Okay. In the division? Okay.
In the division.
Okay, so yeah, you take a step back then if that's the case.
But that's also because Toronto is disgusting in the regular season, and Florida is a wagon.
Yeah, right.
Like, you'll still beat out Tampa, who's in your division.
Yep.
Obviously you'll beat out Buffalo. The Atlantic Division it's too early. You're gonna beat the Senators.
Yep.
You beat the Red Wings. You beat the Canadiens.
Yep.
So as long as you can beat the Lightning or the Maple Leafs, like you're number one. You could be 2 or 3 in your division. That's all you need.
Yeah.
Just get in.
Yeah.
Get in and see what happens.
Yeah, right.
Like, get in and dance. That's all you gotta do.
Yep.
So yeah, that's what I got. I think the Bruins can be sneaky good again, because Monty somehow makes this team into a wagon in the regular season.
Right. He's like Alex Cora with the Red Sox. Like, we don't know how in the hell that they do it or whatever, but they're still good regardless. I don't know how they do it or whatever, or magic that they have. Again, there we go. There we are. Yay. I don't know how they work. That took a while for that to take, too. Like, we'll get back in the swing of things. Next time we'll be doing a podcast, he'll probably be on Discord, and we'll do it through Discord and everything else. But yeah, I say, just like you, middle of the pack for the Bruins this upcoming season. They get in the playoffs. I would hope they win a series. and make it to the second round. Like, that would be the ideal thing for them. But we'll also see at the trade deadline, too, what kind of moves they make. I mean, it's still early to talk predictions and everything else, but if they're in it and they're, like, flirting with the division and everything else, maybe they do make a move here and there.
Yep.
So I think that's going to do it. They had 14 minutes. Yeah, they've had longer than the Patriots. Actually, I don't think they had longer than the Red Sox in this segment here, but, like, not really much Bruins talk here also because we did cover them last time. So that's going to do it for episode 30. We'll be back on the podcast maybe in a couple weeks. Maybe we'll revisit the podcast in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I'd say probably maybe like week 3 of the regular season for the Pats. You know, that way we can see what the Pats look like. We can get some more coverage because the offseason, we just covered the Bruins and Celtics offseason. Unless something crazy happens, there's nothing really to talk there.
Yep.
And the Red Sox aren't really doing a whole lot. So, you know, let's see what the Pats look like for the first couple of weeks.
The only other way like we would have a Celtics segment in any upcoming podcast going forward would be if we had a guest come in.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be the only way we'd have a Celtics talk or whatever. So that's really going to do it for this one here.
Yep.
Leave a like if you guys enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. You guys know what to do. Check out our website. Links in the description down below. Go cop your We Want Boston merch. I absolutely love the design of it. I think it came out very well. Actually, I can check in a second to see like if it's dried up or not and from the washer. If it is, I'll be back on here to show you guys. I'll even show him on camera and everything else, but it came out very great. Alright, I got it right here. It's still a little damp from the washer, but it's close enough. Look at this. Look at how clean this came out.
Hell yeah. And look at it, it's washed, it's not faded.
Right? And then look at the back of this too. Like, you can see it clear as day. Like, definitely go copy your merch right now.
Damn straight. Do it. Hit the link.
That's our best shirt that we have on the website and everything else. So go copy your merch right now. Links in the description down below. Thank you guys for watching this one. Again, it's been your boy Jesse.
It's been Mike.
And we are out of here. See you later. We are getting better at that by the day.
BEANTOWN.
BEANTOWN.